And now it's time for the Ask the Angry Ninja Show. Alright, it's the Ask the Angry Ninja Show. What? You know, okay? But,
Why are you putting me in a box of a bubblegum box?
Because it's an awesome box.
But maybe I don't want to be in a box. Maybe I want to be in a triangle.
Do you want to be in a triangle?
Yeah.
That's more restrictive than a box because it's smaller.
No, see, the point can be like the bubblegum, and the two at the bottom can be like, what? Hey!
Okay. You can't do what? Because that's mine.
What?
But the hay, I'm all for the hay.
Hey!
Alright guys, so we were going to put together a list called Worst Endings in TV Shows. And to get enough for a whole podcast, we're doing Worst Ending TV Shows and movies. Because we don't watch a lot of TV, we mainly watch movies.
Sure.
Yeah, so, but some of these are just absolutely the
awful,
worst.
Disrespectful to the audience. Just awful, 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 awful.
Do you want to talk about that one last?
Which one?
The one that makes you the most angry.
No.
And I'm pretty sure that's the one you wrote first. I didn't watch a single episode of the show.
Lucky you.
I'm glad I didn't, now that I know what I know.
But there's a spinoff coming, and I'm actually excited about that one.
Right, but it still won't answer the problem, because it's going to be him in his youth.
I know, it's a prequel.
And now the actor is dead, so they can't even fix it.
Well, they could kill him off and then come back with his wife and his kids explain. I don't know.
And the show is
The Sopranos.
The Sopranos. Mob show following one dude the whole time.
Tony,
right?
Tony.
That's just what I got from the previews on HBO.
But we're not even going to talk about the whole show. We're just going to start with that awful, awful, godforsaken end.
Well, just this show, just to get it, before we get to the ending, just to have an idea. Does this show start him as an enforcer all the way to becoming the boss?
I don't remember at this point because I blocked it out after that.
Oh, really? Okay, so what happened at the end?
They go in the diner. They're sitting. Someone walks in the diner. Black screen.
Wow. You know what's ironic about that ending? As we're going to talk about another show.
I broke a TV.
Did you really?
I threw my remote at the TV.
Did it actually work?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had this little black line in it.
Wow. We're about to talk about another show that absolutely horrible ending, but there was a really good reason for that horrible ending. But they planned that ending. That show wasn't rush cut. They knew that was the last season. So that's how they wanted it to end.
I know.
Wow. You know, they did ending like that in a comic book.
Sitting in a diner, someone walks in. Actually, I think there's a sound. Honestly, I blanked it out. Because I broke a TV after it. I'm like, I can't do this no more.
Wow.
And blank. Blank, black, screen.
Yeah. Wow.
That's how they ended it.
That's almost as mad as everybody was over the Killing Joke. Yeah.
Blank. Wow. No bodies, no blood, nothing like that. Blank.
Okay.
Black screen.
Oh.
And you're sitting there going, really? This is the end? Really? This is how you ended? This is how you ended? Okay, that's our number one.
Number one. Number two.
Quantum Leap.
Everybody from a certain age at this point, I'm going to say if you're over 30, whether you've meant to or not, you've seen an episode of this show.
Yeah.
I never watched a whole season in a row on purpose.
No.
I think I would enjoy it because I liked the show. I liked the premise for the show. I thought it was a good show.
It was alright.
And it wasn't where you really had to follow episode to episode because it was always each episode.
Nah, see, my mama made me watch some of these, and there were a couple that were 2 parts.
Okay, but 2-parters, but that was still one story. It wasn't like an overarching season story. Yeah. There was the whole overarching of the whole show was dude was trying to jump from body to body to eventually make it home.
Yeah. Sam.
Yeah. He would jump into somebody's body, make a quantum leap, solve whatever problem they were having, save the day.
Creepy.
Yeah. But he didn't know that's exactly whatever. Not important. Do something awesome, then leap to the next one, hoping
Does
that
that
way.
mean you're in a relationship if you're in their body?
Well, they didn't know, so
But he knew.
it's kind of like Wonder Woman 1984. Like,
And when he got into a woman's body, was that just creepier? Yeah.
it was like the first time drag queens were on TV.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, at every beginning of episode when it was a woman and he jumped into a woman's body, he always did the same thing. He looked at him like, oh. But not the important part. So what happened with this show was, I forget which season, but it was obviously the last season. They filmed it thinking there was going to be another season. So they were done. They were wrapped. All the actors had gone home and the show was on air. And right, like 2 or 3 weeks before the last episode aired, network cancels the show. Not doing another season. You're done. So in the very last episode, because they didn't have time to bring everybody back and film and do anything, they put up right before the credits a little script that said, "And Sam continued to leap from body to body for the rest of the time." Show over.
He never made it home.
And never makes home.
Oh.
Yeah, no showing it. Just and he keeps doing this forever.
See, I thought it mentioned he had a way, but he didn't.
No, he knew supposedly if he kept jumping, eventually he would jump back into his body. That's what the experiment. It was an experiment. He looked in the future.
Yeah.
He was eventually supposed to go back home. That was supposed to happen. I even think there was like one season right in the middle of the episodes where he actually got to go home, and something happened, and he said, "I got to go back and save the day." So he jumped into it and went back.
I've been leaping this whole time. Someone else can go take a flying leap.
Right, and he did it, but still with the thought that eventually he would be jumped back home. And the writers later on talked about that was the original plan for the last season. The last jump, he was going to jump home, and that's how they were going to end it.
Then why not put a script up that goes, and he made it home?
Because the producers who threw it up weren't the writers.
Well, they suck.
I think they were hoping maybe they could have another network pick it up or something.
Yeah.
And that's how that ended. We're just keep doing this forever.
That sucks.
Right? Alright. Number 3.
How I Met Your Not Mother in the Show.
Right? I like that show. I don't like it because of the main character. Mainly Allison Hannigan's character and her husband and Neil Patrick Harris. Even though he's playing the worst possible kind of person to ever be.
But he's still like Barney.
He's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm sure the woke police are going to jump at me for this one, but that character, because he was
what police?
Woke police. He was a man.
Oh, he's like a teenager now?
No.
The woke police, because I sound cool.
I didn't say it because I sound cool. It's really a thing now, and it's kind of sad.
I know, but coming out of your mouth, it sounds so weird.
Yeah, anyway. But Barney's character, even though he was being absolutely horrible, was funny, and the fact that he generally got smacked by the end of every episode. Yeah, I love that show. In episodes, on occasion. Never could watch the whole seasons. It wasn't that kind of show for me. It was, that's the one I'll watch it for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But the whole premise of this show starts with dude telling his kids
how he met their mother.
Right. So you're thinking it's gonna be one of the cast. And it's not. The show is not like short. It was like 7 or 8 seasons. And
she comes at like the ending, don't she? Though?
It's like the last 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, dude, if you're telling these kids the story of how you met your mother, did you really need 5 years of you being a hoe?
Yeah.
Is that how that story goes? I had to be a hoe for this many years. And I slept with this person. It's more like a story you're bragging to your friends about all the girls you screwed before you settled down.
Language.
I said screwed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's way better than what I used to say.
Mm.
That's PG.
Mm.
Like, my body count was this before I finally got married and met your mother. Congratulations.
Right?
Like, that's That doesn't make any sense. I get a scene like no, me and her went back and forth and struggled so much, but then we finally realized we loved each other, and it was one of the original, at least one of the original people from the first 2 or 3 seasons.
Right.
At one point, there was a thing that it was actually going to be the redhead Allison's character was going to leave her husband and get with him.
That would have went so well, though.
No, it would have went better than what they did.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and just awful way to end what was a fun TV show. It was just a fun TV show.
Yeah.
All right. See, I'll let you start with this one because I think you were madder than me. I mean, we were both really mad.
No.
But this one...
Number 4.
Constantine.
Good.
This show was amazing.
It was amazing.
This show was canceled.
It was canceled.
Mid first season.
And I don't know why.
I really don't.
It was a great show.
It was a good show. They nailed this character.
And the dude who played Constantine was amazing.
He's still playing Constantine, by the way.
On what?
DC Legends of Tomorrow, they brought Constantine in.
I thought that show was off there.
No, that show's still going. Most of the original characters are off of it, but yeah, they brought him in. He's playing that character, that exact character.
Why can't they give him a show back?
They couldn't get all the rights.
Oh.
And the CW couldn't afford the special effects.
Oh. That's sad.
It is sad. But at least he's that character. But it's not the way. And the show was just amazing. Like, they nailed this character. I went back and reread Volume 1 of Hellblazer, which is what Constantine from. It's a comic book called Hellblazer. And they actually were pulling the story straight from the comics. They finally, DC did something right for once.
Right?
And there's this group of demons that have all come together, and he's trying to keep this group of demons from taking over. And I forget the name of them. Forgive me. And in the last episode, there's this angel that's like the right-hand angel of God that helps Constantine a couple times. And Constantine doesn't really trust angels either because he's Constantine. But this is like the one angel he trusts. And the episode ends with that angel talking to a demon. And he's all like, well, why should I listen to you? I serve. And he said whatever the group was name. And he goes, because I am blah, 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 group name. I am the lead. I am that guy. And he's like, and then he sprouted his little angel wings and flew off. Episode over. I'm like, great cliffhanger. How long is the season break? 6 weeks. Cool. And somewhere in that 6 weeks, they canceled the show.
Yeah. I was angry. I didn't break the TV, but I was angry.
Well, you know the only reason you didn't break the TV?
Why?
Because you didn't realize that was the end.
I didn't. I thought it was just like the season finale.
Well, it was a season break. It was supposed to be off and then come back.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. Yeah, like, oh, we're going to be out there for 3 weeks, but then we'll be back. Then nothing. No. Alright. You like this show more than me.
This one made me sad. This one breaks my heart. Not like cry, but just because it was my show as a child.
Yeah. You know, the ending of the show relates to me from a movie we'll talk about in a second.
So the show is Dinosaurs. And if you've never seen Dinosaurs, it's on Disney Plus and you should try.
It is. Oh my god.
I mean, and I'm not even saying that because I love my Disney Plus. I'm just saying because this show was an amazing show. It was the show that I watched when I was little, and that's probably telling my age. So don't look up when it was made. But it was already running by the time I watched it, so it's fine.
Yeah, you probably watched it in reruns because I think it was late 80s, early 90s when it was made.
Yeah. But I had the baby stuffed toy you pull the string on.
Not the mama.
Not the mama. God love me. I'm the baby.
Yeah.
So
I had one too.
I loved it. So this ends with an ice age.
Yeah.
They're all doomed. Do you remember how the ice age began?
No, I did not see the last episode.
So, if I remember right, so the We Say So company, you know, the one he works for, and they knock down the trees and everything like that, he sends Earl by sucking up and stuff. Of course, Earl does it because he was always sucking up to his boss.
Well, yeah.
To spray poison. Spray poison. And so, like, when he does, he pretty much blocks out the sun and he dooms everybody. And he finally realizes, you know, what he's done. And I believe he tells his wife, I should have, not took nature for granted, let it take its own course. So he doomed everybody and caused the Ice Age because he was sucking up to his boss and couldn't say no.
Wow.
So Earl Sinclair doomed his family to die because he couldn't say no.
Because he was doing his job without asking questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And doesn't it like them sitting on the porch watching it come in?
I think they were actually sitting in the living room watching TV. But I don't remember that 100%.
Yeah.
But I do think they're sitting in the house because I think they're all cold and they have like their parkers and stuff on. Yeah, and I think the baby said something, but it breaks your heart because, they're all going to die.
But they don't show them that, at least.
No.
Yeah.
But just the fact that's how they ended a kid's show.
Right. It wasn't actually, when it came out, was not billed as a kid's show. I want to make that very clear.
Okay, well, it was my kid's show.
Yeah, it was, that was late night TV. Not like super late night, but like the show you'd watch after the kid went to bed, like at 9 o'clock.
See, it was on during the day when I watched it.
Yeah, you watched it on reruns when it originally aired. That was, the late night sitcom. Like Roseanne came on, it came on all. Like it was like the 8 to 10 block.
Oh, well, I watched it.
Yeah, you watched it on reruns at like 4:30.
On Disney.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, he doomed them all because he sprayed poison.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, I'm not going to do it to you.
What?
I'm not going to do it to you.
No, go.
Well, it's just like those dinosaurs in Jurassic World that got left.
Oh, I hate that one.
And you watch it coming, and you know it's coming.
And that little brontosaurus, I see hollers. It's like, come back for me. And I'm like, you've left it. You've left it.
They had to.
It made me cry. Like, first 5 minutes of the movie, and I'm sitting there crying over a fake thing that ain't even real.
Yes, some CG.
Yes, it's a really good CG, okay? And I'm sitting there going, no, go back. It's like a giant dog.
It was. Yeah, I think they actually made it had like almost dog noises.
I think so. It broke my heart.
Okay, this one I'm going to just glaze over quickly because we've talked about it several times.
Mm-hmm.
The Matrix Revolutions, worst movie ending for a series in the history.
From what I hear, it's the worst movie.
God. Just nothing. The fight scenes are the only redeemable thing in the movie, and not even that redeemable. Okay, we're going to move on. I think we just talked about this 2 or 3 episodes ago. Like
yeah.
It deserves to be on the list, though.
And our next one is Signs.
Yeah.
Now, that was a Mel Gibson movie, wasn't it?
It was a Mel Gibson movie. And it was a great movie.
Until the end.
Until like the last 5 minutes. Like, the way they did the aliens in this, where you didn't really see them, you kind of like...
Don't you see the hand? I thought you seen one at one point.
At the very end, you see them.
Ah.
Clearly. And, like... Yeah, you wouldn't remember this reference. Did you ever see the 1980s Bigfoot footage?
No.
Well, it turns out this is a dude in a suit running behind some trees, and dude filmed it from far away. But whatever. You just, like, you see it run through a bush, and it looks like a Bigfoot kind of thing, but you can't really tell because it's grainy footage and it's far away. They did that kind of thing with the alien. That's the only time you saw it for the first part of the movie. Like, it runs past a kid's birthday party, and you see it, like, through the fence for a second. And going on, people are disappearing, people are dying, the aliens are definitely there. Like, it's really suspenseful and creepy and awesome. And it ends with the dude who used to be a baseball player hitting glasses of water the little girl never cleaned up on the aliens because an alien that's the only thing that can kill it is water decided to go to a planet at 75% water.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were able to beat the aliens with super soakers.
Super soakers!
I guess the people in the desert are toast, but there's not that many there, so who cares? Like, seriously. It'll finally be peace in the Middle East. The aliens took them over. That's it. Like, this is the dumbest ending to a movie. Like, why would you... We're going to attack where all the crops are because there's the most water.
Yeah. No.
That is the worst M. Night Shyamalan ending.
I can't say that last name.
I can't either. I said it wrong. Shyamalan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know. That one and The Happening, the ending of that was god awful too.
I mean, I know you disagree with me, but I don't like the ending of The Village.
I thought that was a good twist.
Like, I like the movie. I don't like the ending.
You didn't like that twist?
I did.
Did you see it coming? Because I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see that they were going to be in, like, nowadays.
Yeah, that's what got me.
But I knew it was going to be, like, the village people.
Well,
Not YMCA village people, but I knew it was going to be, like, the adults.
yeah, no, I saw that part coming. And I thought that was what the twist was going to be. So then when you hit me with it was the reason they were doing it is because it was actually modern times and they were trying to...
Yeah.
I like that. That got me.
Like, I liked the movie, but I just didn't like the ending. And then the blind girl's the one that has to go off. She ain't going down.
That's the point. That's why she was allowed to go.
Yeah.
That's the reason they did it that way.
I know. I just didn't like it. Because when she gets hit by a car, she's going to know.
Right. But no, I like that. I mean, and when I rank his movies as a whole, because I haven't seen all of his movies, but Village is up there. It's not number one, but it's up there.
I didn't like Sixth Sense either.
Well, you knew the ending.
I did.
I totally missed it. So, and that's the difference in that movie. If you know the ending, like I've gone back and tried to rewatch it, and everything that was cool about that movie is not there when you know.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, 15 minutes in, I'm like, he's dead. Cool.
Yeah, see, I missed that. So having missed that, I had that throughout the whole movie. So when he revealed that at the end, I was like,
Maybe 20 minutes, I don't know.
Yeah, see, so
There's a good part in there.
If you don't catch that twist, it's a much better movie. Just saying. Especially the I see dead people.
And see, I think that should give it away right there because he sees it. So, of course, he sees you.
But the thing is, like, all the other ones he thinks are trying to hurt him, so why did he suddenly start talking to that one? So, I didn't think he was one of them.
Yeah.
You know. But I was wrong. That's what made that such a good movie for me. Was that. I didn't know.
Yeah, I guess.
And then, The Village, but then there's Lady in the Water. That one was
We got sidetracked.
Oh, we didn't get sidetracked. Okay, we're moving on.
That's the next list. M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Right. Okay. I wouldn't call this movie the worst ending. Honestly, I could just call this one of the worst comic book movies ever made.
The Wolverine?
The Wolverine. Yes. I am a comic book traditionalist, but being a comic book traditionalist, I realize there's always variations of every story for everything. And with movies and Batman and stuff, I've gotten used to them tweaking origin stories and changing things a little. And I'm okay with that. If it still makes sense and is still in the general of the character. So Wolverine took the origin story of Wolverine.
Is that the one with the bad Deadpool in it?
Yes.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
And it was so god awful. All of it. Yeah, this is X-Men's Origins Wolverine. I think I might have actually worded the title so The Wolverine, because I forgot there was one called The Wolverine. It was actually a little bit better. But this is from beginning to end. Like, he's supposed to get his memory erased when he gets the antimanium, when they're trying to do mind control tests on him. Because they want to control him and make him the perfect weapon, Weapon X.
Yeah.
And instead, he gets his memory because the dude shoots him in the head with an antimanium bullet.
Yeah. See, I only watched part of this, and I only watched part of this because it ain't that I haven't tried to watch it all. I fell asleep.
Cool part about this movie is about the first 10 minutes. After the first 10 minutes, it's turning off.
I think I make it into 10 and then I fall asleep.
Because it shows him as a kid, and him and Sabretooth as a kid running together and being in all the different wars. And then there's one scene where they become the new Alpha team and they're doing some stuff. It turns out it's shady, bad stuff, but they're doing some stuff. And you get to see Wade Wilson before he's Deadpool do some really cool stuff, which his character couldn't actually do, but it still looked cool at least. And then the movie's just downhill from there. It's so bad. And it ends with them fighting on 3 Mile Island, which is a secret base where they do science or experiments, even though Wolverine was created in Canada. They had the country wrong. And they've turned Deadpool, they've melted his mouth shut, so the merc with the mouth, which is what he was known as, can't even talk. His mind's completely controlled, his eyes are wired open, he's leaking antimadium out of his skin, he has swords that grow out of his arm, and he can teleport and has laser vision. Because he's Deadpool.
That's awesome.
And Wolverine kills him by cutting off his head, which doesn't actually kill a mutant with regeneration. It doesn't. It's just so bad. So bad. Okay. So bad.
So bad. See, I can't say that about this one because I fall asleep to it every time.
Oh, like they gave the character gave him powers he never had, took away the one thing that made him popular, and swords that were longer than his arms came out of his wrist. Right, because give me at least possible, okay? Work with me here. It's like the Highlander movies where they pull out these 4-foot long swords and they're wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
And you're like, where'd you pull that from? Were you sitting on it?
Okay, well, they're immortal, so I guess it didn't bother them.
Were you hiding a secret?
I'm just saying. Like, things, but that wouldn't have even worked because it would have been poking out their mouth because the swords were so long.
It's a list of secrets.
I'm like, God.
And nobody gets that reference with me, but it's fine because it cracks me up.
I just woosah so bad.
Oh goodness gracious!
You know, in the Wolverine movie, kind of actually has a horrible ending too. They ruined that bad guy.
You know what had a bad ending? Or a bad movie.
What's that?
Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey.
Oh my God, the movie's so bad.
Like, they had potential to make a great bad guy.
Okay, so here's the question. This is where I'm at. This is the true test.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's a gun to your head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On one TV show, one screen is Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey.
What is this test?
On the other screen is the new Suicide Squad movie.
Harley Quinn.
And the third screen, both Deadpool movies. You have to stay awake and watch one of them and pass a test or you get shot.
Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey.
You're going to watch that one?
Yep.
Wow. Which one are you watching last?
Suicide Squad.
So I get you watch Deadpool before Suicide Squad again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like, there was so much... And the way they kept flipping around in that movie.
Yeah, they had too many characters they were trying to start... They tried to cram 3 origin stories into one movie.
It's just like...
Yeah, it was awful.
It's Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. Okay, give me Harley Quinn. Introduce a few characters. And then you have potential for this great bad guy and then you just destroy it.
Yeah! And to me, he was the highlight of that movie.
Yes.
He was a great bad guy. He was a great Black Mask.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Ewan McGregor was awesome in that movie. That was the highlight of that movie.
It was, and then and I'm just like, this is how you're ending it? Really? Okay, sure. I just spent 2 hours of my life that I'll never get back for that.
DC has this major problem. You know what that is?
They don't know how to make a good movie?
No, because they've made some good movies.
Yeah, Aquaman was good.
Aquaman was good. One of them, first of all, they don't know how to plan for the future.
That's true.
They make every movie like it's the only comic book movie they're going to make, so they'll never need that bad guy again. They'll never need that character again. This is the only one we're going to do, so we can just do whatever we want. And that's how they make all their movies, and therefore you don't have that build-up like with the Avengers movies where Thanos got introduced way. And they had that slow build to the awesome fight. Like, that was 23 movies before the fight with Thanos?
Yeah.
22, something like that. Like, they built that up. And he was never like a major person, but he popped up. So you knew this was the reason it was happening.
Yeah, I read something, and I hope it's true.
What?
So I read something a minute ago that said the new Doctor Strange movie, they're going to introduce Professor X will reportedly be introduced as a longtime friend of Doctor Strange.
That would be awesome. But there's been rumors of them bringing in all the characters from Marvel now that are X-Men.
I know, and I'm hoping this starts it.
I hope it does too. I just don't know. Although, honestly, if they're going to bring them in, I don't think that's the movie they're going to do it.
Why not?
Because I think they're going to bring one in before that.
What's that?
I think there's going to be one in Spider-Man 3.
That'd be fun too.
Yeah. I think that's going to happen. That's what I'm hoping. But we will see. I will be taking my child to see that movie in the theater, and I'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
Okay. Alright, guys, that is the show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully this wasn't the worst ending of a podcast.
I know, we kind of got sidetracked a little bit.
You know, people like when we get sidetracked.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, people should leave a comment then.
They should.
They should. And tell us, what do you want to hear?
Actually, you want to hear something awesome? A little side note for our podcast?
What?
People don't leave ratings very often.
Nah.
It's always been a hang up. It's kind of sad. And it's not personally to us. You don't write a review unless you're mad.
Yeah.
I did a little bit of advertising for the podcast.
He advertised.
I paid.
Oh, Lord.
And it paid off. We now have like 39 5-star ratings.
Well, thank y'all.
Right?
Hopefully we can entertain you some more, and he doesn't keep saying words that are meant for a tween.
Woke police.
Mm-hmm.
The woke police.
It sounds so bad when you say it. Oh, honey, buddy, you are too old to be saying that.
I'm going to tell you a funny story when we get off the podcast. Alright, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Bye!
Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. It's all part of the Ninja Podcast Network with all the shows featuring Ask the Angry Ninja Show, Not a Kid's Game, presented by the Angry Ninja, which is our D&D podcast, the Ninja News and Politics Show, Sports Talk with the Ninja and J-Mo, and our newest podcast, Outrageous Stories with the Ninja, featuring occasional special guests. Great shows, great stuff. If you want to reach any of us, you can go at asktheangryninja@gmail.com. You can reach us on Twitter at cman2342. You can get us on Facebook on the Ask the Angry Ninja Show Facebook page. Any of those places, if you want to support us, we appreciate that. Go to patreon.com/worstjokes. And if you join high enough tier, you'll get a free gift. And we just appreciate any support and feedback. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll holler at you later.